as well as the Facebook platform of One News PH. Today is June 25, 2020. It's a Thursday, and just a thought occurred. Someone pointed out to me that in 2020, many people are regretting buying a daily planner, appointment book, and calendar because it seems all of that, all of our ideas of planning and plotting our days, weeks, and months have just flown out of the window. So I guess the best thing to do is, since the daily planner or calendars are useless, replace it with a daily bread, that small book about that gives you Bible verses and prayers for a daily, for every day, and also replace it with with a to-do list. I have quite a very long list, to-do list, and it helps me navigate through the day, especially with so many things happening all over the place. But yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of people who are now working from home are actually saying they're now doing more work than they ever did because there are no distractions, there are no people going to your table asking for this or phone calls, etc. In fact, funny enough, I noticed that even the text messages, the calls have gone down to bare minimum. So there's a good thing and a bad thing about quarantine. We'll figure this out when it's all over. Now, for today, just so you know, there's a lot of good news. The Philippine Star Business section reports that banks, the commercial banks, are awash. Punong-puno po, umaapaw po ang kanilang cash kasi wala namang mapaglagyan ng pera. Very few people are borrowing money from the banks. The banks are hesitant to give loans because of the uncertain environment. And then, of course, there are very little businesses out there for them to park the money in. So they're all trying to park money with the central bank, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, to secure a bulk of that money. Now, our foreign exchange reserves are also at an all-time high. So we will try to get the BSP Governor Ben Jokno one of these days to educate us. Paano nangyari na nagkakagulo na, sobrang dami ng gastos ng pamahalaan, tumataas pa yung ating foreign exchange reserves. Ang dami naman nating mga OFW na umuwi at umuuwing luhaan o patay. And in that connection, we will be speaking with the Department of Labor and Employment Secretary Silvestre Bello III to give us an update on the state of labor and employment in the country and overseas. We will also be inviting Congressman Ronnie Ong, Ang Probinsyano Party-list, hindi po si Coco Martin ang magdarating, bagamat kamukha ng konti, chinito nga lang. Congressman Ong and I will discuss PWDs, fake PWDs, and the ignorance of many business establishment and people regarding PWDs. Kasi naging kaso po ito, may isang pamilyang na viral sa Facebook na lahat sila PWD. Yung pala, lahat sila hindi pala lahat PWD, peke pala. So, baka pag nagulpi ng mga pulis, magiging PWD sila. And finally, we will also be speaking with Attorney Vince Revil, convenor of the CORE movement. They're a group of people who had been pushing for federalism because it just occurred to me, it's more of a personal curiosity that started this. I was wondering, how would we have fared? Ano kaya ang nangyari kung tayo ay federalist system, federal form of government under pandemic? Would it have been better? Would it have been worse? What are the benefits and advantages, and what would have been the problems? Of course, the United States, which is a federal form, is having their own problems, but but I think sorry, the problem of the United States is not the system, it's the politicians. In any case, just before I go to the news on the front page, may I appeal to all of our viewers, please, if you want to do a good deed, maybe you should call the local chapter of the Red Cross in your area or the hospital, because apparently there is a concern regarding the supply of blood in the country. Kasi marami po hindi nakakalabas. Many of us are unable to go out, and many companies are not working or operating. So yung normal supply of blood and blood donors for the Red Cross and local hospitals have been dwindling, kasi tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung mga nangangailangan ng dugo, lalo na yung mga nanganganak, nako-COVID, etc. And there is a growing shortage of blood. So please, if you can, if you're qualified, please donate blood. Okay, so having said all of that, allow me to go to the stories from the front page of the Philippine Star. The Trade Department has lifted the quantity limits for the sale and purchase of essential products, except for alcohol, hand sanitizers, and other disinfecting liquids and face masks. Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez explained that the limits were lifted as their department has managed to have a healthy inventory of majority of these essential items, which include bath soaps, toilet paper, instant noodles, canned sardines, bread loaf, and other goods. While the cap remains on alcohol and sanitizers, the Trade Department eases the limits, as one can now buy up to 5 bottles for size 1 liter and below, and up to 3 bottles for quantities more than 1 liter. Previously, the cap was at 2 bottles regardless of size. So allow me to repeat that. The limits, you can buy up to 5 bottles for sizes 1 liter and below, and up to 3 bottles for quantities more than 1 liter. Second major news, more police and military troops will be deployed or are being deployed to Cebu City after it was put on lockdown amid the increase in COVID-19 cases. Interior Secretary Eduardo Año said that this is because of the need to ensure that people are quarantined in their homes. Secretary Año says they want to avoid a situation where hospital facilities will be congested and where death tolls will rise. Cebu City was tagged as a special concern area due to the increase in COVID-19 cases. This also prompted President Rodrigo Duterte to assign Environment Secretary Roy Cimatu to oversee the response situation in the city. The House of Representatives is set to start its investigation into the repatriation of overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs. House Public Accounts Committee Chairman Congressman Mike Defensor will initiate the probe upon the advice of House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano. Congressman Defensor said House leaders are puzzled why the concerned government agencies are taking so long to fly home the stranded OFWs. The House also wants to investigate the problem of repatriated OFWs who remain stranded in quarantine facilities or airports and cannot go back to their provinces. The Labor Department, Foreign Affairs Department Interagency Task Force, and Overseas Workers Welfare Administration are among those invited to the hearing. Finally, the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act expires today, which means there will also be no more emergency powers for President Duterte to quickly procure medical supplies needed for the pandemic. The palace, however, has expressed hope that they will find a middle ground with Congress so they can address the issue. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque said extending the emergency powers would have been simple, but the inclusion of the economic stimulus package in the bill brought to surface differences among the executive branch. He said Finance Secretary Sonny Dominguez does not want a package that we cannot pay for, but the negotiations are still ongoing. Okay, and that's the headlines or the front page stories of the Philippine Star. We are now presently trying to make all our necessary connections. We will start with Congressman Ronnie Ong to discuss this issue about PWDs. We have with us Congressman Ong, Probinsyano Party-list Representative. Excuse me.
Good
Congressman
morning,
Ong,
Kuya Cito.
good morning. How are you feeling this morning, sir?
I'm okay. Good morning, Kuya Cito. It's been a
Oh,
while.
it's been a while. Actually, transparency lang po para alam ninyo, kaibigan ko si Ronnie Ong. Siya po yung hindi naman fairy, no? Pero para kang fairy godfather, nagdadala ng maliliit na sapatos sa anak ko nung maliit siya. Pero ngayon masyado nang malaki, hindi na magka-college na. In any case, Congressman, you are the Probinsyano Party-list. Baka mamaya akala nung iba katropa mo si Coco Martin. Ano ba yung Probinsyano Party-list? Bigyan lang ng background muna yung mga viewers natin.
Okay, ang pinaka-ano po natin adikain sa Ang Probinsyano Party-list is to help our provinces by decentralization of Metro Manila at magdala ho tayo ng mga trabaho, tulong sa ating mga probinsya. And yes, sir, kaibigan po natin si Coco Martin.
Okay. Well, good to know that. Maraming natutuwa na nakabalik na daw ang probinsyano bagamat hindi ko talaga napapanood. In any case, okay, that's a good start. You are representing our Philip kababayans na gustong bumalik sa probinsya, magbalik probinsya. Ano pong masasabi nyo tungkol dito sa program ni Senator Bongo? Kasi it was a good idea. In fact, it was initially brought to my attention by Mayor Alfred Romualdez of Tacloban. Pinagtuloy naman ni Senator Bongo. Pero lumalabas ngayon parang medyo naudlot or may sabit. There's been a little hump, speed bump as they say, because of COVID-19 cases. What's your overall idea on what the senator is doing?
Maganda po yun adhikain ni Senator Bongo dahil yan naman ho talaga ang solution, a long-term solution for helping our kababayans. Kasi nga sobrang congested ng Metro Manila and with what's happened with COVID, that's part of the problem of the congestion. Ang medyo naging problema natin is the implementation. It could have been better by doing testings, mass testing, quarantine before they are sent to the provinces. Yun ang doon hunay nagkulang. So there are some provinces like Ormoc, kay Mayor Richard Gomez, is really doing a good job. Actually, wala ho silang COVID for so long.
Yeah.
But because of this program, I think recently he announced that they have around 35 positive COVID patients. So doon ho tayo nagka-problema sa pag-implementation. Pero the idea itself is very good po. Maganda po yun. Adikain po ni
Okay.
Senator.
Now, sa Probinsyano Party List, have you submitted any bills or program proposal along the same lines? Kasi ito po yung sinasabi nung si Governor Artiap. Sinabi niya na okay naman yung ideya na yan, pero paano mo tatawaging balik probinsya ni hindi mo sinali yung governor, hindi na consult yung mga leaders at saka yung local governments. What's your reaction to this?
Tama naman si Governor Yap. I think before sending our kababayans back to their provinces, dapat po nagkaroon ng very close monitoring, close coordination with the local officials dahil sila naman ho talaga nakakaalam ng what's happening on the ground. And with regard to our party, nag-file po tayo ng bill early on since last year, hindi pa na natatalakay. Gusto ho natin sana maggawa ng mga one-stop shop for our kababayans na hindi na ho nila kailangan pumunta ng Metro Manila.
Okay.
In those one-stop shop, magkakaroon na ho sila ng all kinds of clearances from NBI, driver's license, passport, PSA, para doon na ho lahat, in every region, meron na tayong one-stop shop. Kasi yung nangyari, Kuya Cito, ang mga kababayan natin probinsyano, they have to go all the way to Metro Manila to most often than not to get their clearances. Ang hirap po na for them. Aside from the budget limitations, sometimes they are thinking na it will only take them 3 days to get all their clearances. Ang nangyari, they will extend for around 10 to 12 days. So, kinukulang din sila sa budget. So, mas maganda ho kung meron na tayo. Saka with the technology now, like what we're doing today, pwede naman na one-stop shops na lang. They don't have to go to Metro Manila anymore.
Okay, ngayon, matanong ko lang, ano ba yung ideya ninyo or what is your concept dyan sa Probinsyano Party-list of Balik Probinsya? Kasi we all agree, I think, we need to depopulate Metro Manila. Kailangan alisin na natin, iuwi na natin yung mga naghanap ng trabaho pero wala na nga trabaho, wala pang matirahan o nakikisilong na lang o nakikisiksik sa mga squatter area. No? Now, kung kayo yung masusunod, ano yung program ninyo or idea ninyo for a Balik Probinsya program?
I think it has to be a holistic approach. Hindi po pwede yung papadala natin doon yung probinsyano natin and wala naman silang ini-expect na trabaho doon. Because at the end of the day, they will be needing ayuda kung wala naman tayo mabibigay na trabaho. So ang ano po natin, ang naisip po natin is dalhin ho natin yung mga negosyo sa probinsya, the businesses. How can we do that? By talking to probably the top 200 companies in the Philippines and ask them to bring their businesses to the provinces, in the nearby provinces, probably in Laguna, Pampanga, Bulacan. But they need our support. We can give their employees free low-cost housing. We can fix the infrastructure for them. And most importantly po, Kuya Cito, yun infrastructure po sa ports. Kasi right now, you can see our ports in Manila, dalawa lang talagang ginagamit, the South Harbor and the North Harbor. Over congested na, and you can see this every day, dumadaan sila sa Roas Boulevard. Kahit na yung mga pinupuntahan nila is in Batangas. Kasi marami po tayong economic zone sa Batangas and Laguna and Cavite. Pero still, they're still using the ports in Manila. Bakit po yan? But why are they not using the Batangas ports? Or even the ones in Subic? Kasi po, hindi po ready yung infrastructure natin doon eh. Kulang na kulang. And most of the shipping lines, they're not even passing through Batangas and Subic. And we can actually expand this.
Yeah. Congressman, alam mo, maraming mga ideas na ganyan noon pa sinusulong. Pero may mga nagsasabi na ang sagot lang dyan ay isabatas at i-restrict. Kasi, allow me to say this, no? Katulad yung sa balik probinsya. Ibabalik natin sa probinsya, pero pag walang mangyari, babalik sa Manila. Tapos yung mga walang mangyari sa probinsya, lahat sasabay din papuntang Manila. And I remember, and please, I'm not a communist.
Sa Manila.
I am not a communist. I am not a, someone who believes in apartheid, etc. Pero may mga patakarang ginawa sa China, sa South Africa, na kumbaga, kung sabihin natin, tiga Leyte ka, diyan ka lang. Hindi ka pwedeng lumipat-lipat unless meron ka talagang titirahan at meron kang pagtatrabahuan sa ibang probinsya o sa Metro Manila. Meaning, managing, not really restricting, but more about managing the movement of people, managing employment, etc. Tapos yung tungkol dyan sa ports.
Movement transfer.
Transfer. Pati ang sinasabi niyo sa mga pier na yan, kasi wala naman talagang naglilimita or nagre-regulate. para mapilitan yung mga iba, doon kayo sa Batangas o doon kayo sa Subic. Kasi siyempre, ano yung pinakamalapit, pinakamura at pinakamadali. Bagamat, hindi na madali kasi puro na traffic tayo
Correct.
dyan sa may Port of Manila. Now, you're the congressman, you're the lawmakers. What say you regarding that? Yung bang let's regulation and management by law.
We are for that. Tama po yun. But kaya kailangan, may mga napas na po tayong bills. Naghihintay lang po tayo ng proper hearing. Part of that is yung supports po natin. Pinupush po talaga natin ng modernization ng mga ports para lumaki. Kasi ang late po talaga, Kuya Cito eh. Kulang talaga sa laki, sa dami ng pwede nilang i-carry na load. Kaya hindi ho nadadala sa mga Subic, sa Batangas, and other ports. Even sa Bataan is also a good place.
Okay, now matanong ko lang dito naman sa
With regard po dun sa
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you had finished. Go ahead.
And with regard naman po dun sa movement po ng tao, at the end of the day, Kuya Cito, kung meron naman livelihood dun sa place, hindi naman sila aalis talaga eh. We really just have to bring livelihood to their place for them to stay there. Kasi sino naman gustong mawalay sa pamilya nila?
What about legislated tax incentives? Kasi yun naman ang sinasabi rin ng mga negosyante. Pupunta kami doon, magsasacrifice kami, magre-risk kami, pero wala namang motivation and incentive para kami mag-locate. Kasi mahal mag-locate ng kumpanya, mahal magtayo ng factory o ng mga farms. Pagdating mo doon, bayad ka na sa kaliwa sa buwis, bayad ka pa sa kanan sa national taxes.
And local government. Pinakamaganda ho dyan kasi we should create more economic zones for places na pwede. Actually, meron ho pwede mga pier. Maganda actually ginagawa po ni Governor Abet Garcia sa Bataan. I've seen their master plan and maganda po doon. Like things like that, pwede natin palakihin pa ho yun. Like pwede ho sa Region 8 dahil it's a fishing industry ang number 1 doon. Pwede natin tulungan sila by making eco zones there. Now with regard to mga fishing, pwede hong palakihin po. We really have to bring jobs back to the provinces po.
Okay, bago tayo maubusan ng oras, Congressman, paano naman kayo nakasali dito sa investigasyon at issue nitong mga PWD? Kasi yung pangalan ninyo nabanggit at yung party list ninyo na parang you called attention to this. Ano ba nangyari dito sa PWD case na ito?
Actually, Kuya Cito, it started since last year, even before all this COVID happened. Kami po, kasama po natin si Congressman Eric Yap. We've been investigating this issue on the abuse use of PWD cards. Dahil we can ask who yung mga restaurant owners or some stores owners na talagang grabe na almost every transaction may gumagamit ng PWD card. As a matter of fact po, last Sunday, I went out, it's Father's Day, nag-take out lang ako sa isang restaurant and I was asking them kung kumusta na yung PWD cards, if maraming gumagamit. Sabi nila, sir, grabe ho yan. Just like before COVID, there's a group of 20 individuals nag-dine-in po sa restaurant namin and out of the 20 individuals, in one group, lahat po sila may PWD cards. So, dun lang, ganun ka-abusive na po ang paggamit. Ang problema kasi, Kuya Cito, yung PWD cards, ginawa ng discount card ng mga tao, which hindi naman ho talaga yun ang rason for the PWD law. And dapat ho talaga yung PWD law na yan, yung cards na yan, is para tulungan yung mga lehitimong PWD natin. Kasi sila ang kailangan ng tulong. Ano nangyari na abuso?
Okay, paano natin mahihigpitan yan? Kasi noon ko pa sinasabi yan mag-a-apply ka lang sa barangay, meron kang kakuntsabang tiga City Hall, may PWD card ka na. Ako, qualified ako pero hindi ako nag-a-apply. Ang tanong, paano natin mahihigpitan yan? Kasi sa ibang bansa, pag yan inabuso mo, kulong. Hindi pinag-uusapan yan, kulong ka talaga.
Actually, nag-file na nga po kami ni Kong Eric Yap ng resolution na gawin ng criminal act ang pagpeke ng at yung nagbibigay ng PWD cards na hindi ho alam naman niyang hindi talaga PWD. But for now, since we're waiting for the law to be approved, ang pwede hong gawin natin is ang DOH or ang DILG magkaroon ng one central file for all the PWD holders. And for LG, ang naging problema ho kasi nito, Kuya Cito, nagsimula to nung LGU na nagbibigay ng PWD cards eh.
Ayun, okay.
May nabibili po mga PWD cards as much as 2,000 to 3,000 pesos without submitting any kind of medical abstract. Basta willing ka lang magbayad, bibigyan ka na ng PWD card.
Parang
Just recently,
parang yung quarantine passes na pinagbebenta lang ng tiga 500 ba yun, o 250 yata dun sa Mindanao.
Opo. Yun, with regard to the nag-viral who recently na issue, I think naglabas ang statement ng Quezon City yesterday through Mayor Joy Belmonte na they were able to discover na lahat po yan, cards na yan, wala hong medical abstract na sinubmit sa City Hall. In short, wala hong laman.
Ayun na nga.
I think nagkasabi ang Quezon City na may binayaran lang daw na one of the City Hall employees to facilitate these cards. So kitang-kita po natin. Isa hong pwede natin gawin, Kuya Cito, is probably for the LGUs, magkaroon ho sila ng mga hospitals na pwede lang mag-check sa mga PWD. Meron silang mga qualifier. Hindi pwede kahit na lang sinong doktor kasi more often than not, mga kamag-anak din ho ng mga fakers po ang nagbibigay ng papel from doctors na PWD sila.
Siguro ang kailangan dyan, Congressman, may masampulan. Kasi alam nyo, hindi naisip ng maraming tao. Number one, I'm just pointing out to you, although you are the congressman, using a fake PWD card is falsification of a public document. If I'm not mistaken, 6 months to 2 years yata yung penalty dyan. Pagkatapos, yung kakonsyaba mo yung kamag-anak mo na mag-i-issue ng certificate kahit na walang diferensya, disbarment yun from the medical profession. At may kasama pa rin kulong kasi ano rin yun, fraud din yun. So siguro talagang kailangan may masampulan na kayo, Congressman.
Opo, together again with Kong Eric Yap, we're looking at this issue sa Quezon City. And nag-announce naman si Mayor Joy na she's going to do something about these cases. Itong case na nangyari sa itong nag-viral na issue. Dahil sobra na po talaga.
And perhaps, perhaps it would help if you could get your staff or someone to compute magkano ang nawawala sa industriya ng pagkain in the dining and restaurant service and pati all the other. How much is this fraud costing business and the government? Kasi alam ko yan, sigurado milyon. Kung pa 20% yan, yung iba raw 30% yata sa PWD, medyo matindi yan. In any case, Congressman Ronnie, thank you very much for your time today. At hayaan nyo, mas dadalasan natin to kasi I am really very interested and I really support the Balik Probinsya program. Kahit sino pa ang promotor niyan, whether it's Senator Bongo, Probinsyano Party-list, we really need to do that. And I hope we can get our act together to have a really solid Balik Probinsya program for national development. Thank you very much, Congressman Ronnie.
Thank you po, Kuya Cito. Thank you po.
Okay, God bless you. Okay, ayan po si Congressman Ronnie Ong of the Probinsyano Party-list. Pagbigyan nyo na muna ako, Gab, my executive producer, kasi ito meron lang pong nag-text sa amin, si Skip Pizarro. Good morning, Cito. My name is Skip. My colleagues and I enjoy watching your segment on Signal Channel 150 o 250, hindi 150. We are betting on what the piece of furniture is behind you. Kaya na sinasabi ko, hindi kayo nakikinig sa pinag-uusapan, pinapanood nyo kung ano yung laman ng bahay ko. Yes, yung nasa likod ko po ay jukebox. Ginawa ng magaling na kaibigan ko si Charlie Alvarez. Okay, just a little entertainment there. It was given to me as a Christmas gift last Christmas. In any case, let's move on to the program. And we have next someone na matagal ko na pong hinahanap at matagal nang kilala ng nasirang ama kong si Louie Beltran. Let's go to our next guest, Secretary Silvestre Bello III of the Department of Labor and Employment. Ayan na. I hope we can get him. Secretary Bello, are you there? Okay, hindi po siya hindi po siya campaigner ng Black Lives Matter. Medyo sineset up pa natin yung camera, but in any case, we will try to make that proper connection. Secretary Bello is not just the DOLE secretary. Many of us may have forgotten that he at one time was the Secretary of Justice. Kasi yan pong si Secretary Bello ay abogado, marunong na magaling na abogado nung panahon ni Cory Aquino, President Cory Aquino. And he has served in government for the longest time. Ang tanong nga lang is kinatutuwa ba niyang pumasok siyang kalihim under the Duterte administration? No reflection on the administration, but I think there are many people who are now, somewhat regretful that they are in government because of the challenges, the burden, the work that people need to do because of COVID-19. Alam niyo po, marami akong nakakausap na sising-sisi na tumakbong mayor, tumakbong congressman kasi talaga po namang nabalda sila dahil sa dami ng trabaho, because some of them are really at risk. You can criticize your mayors, your barangay captain, you can say many things about them, but do remind yourselves, we need to remind ourselves, would we actually enjoy doing what they have to do? Tigasalo ng puna, tigaharap ng mga problema, and now, hindi mo alam kung yung kaharap mo may tama o wala. Kasi alam nyo po, medyo mahirap itong sitwasyon natin na meron kang trabaho, meron kang posisyon, pero hindi ka nakakasiguro kung uuwi ka mamaya, bukas, may tama ka na pala ng COVID-19. Okay, let's try our connection with Secretary Bello once again. Naku, bakit alam ko naman nagbabayad ng kuryente itong si Secretary Bello. Bakit blackout siya ng blackout? Gabriel, pakicheck nyo nga yan sa studio natin. Ano yung problema ni Secretary dyan sa connection natin na yan? While we're waiting for Secretary Bello, just do the connection, Gab, whenever it's convenient. But in the meantime, I'll just carry on with the conversation. I just want to point out, because unfortunately we don't have forever with all our guests, so it gets to a point we really run out of time. But in any case, with the issue on the PWD, please try to understand, there are both sides to this discussion. It's unfair for people to take advantage of the PWD when they can do without it, considering that there are really many people na, marami pong tao na hirap na, may kapansanan pa. I mean, I think that's the worst double jeopardy you can ever have in life. That you are PWD and you are poor, or you are PWD and you have limited means, and then comes along a bunch of people, may kaya naman, may kakayanan, walang problema, normal, pagkatas magkle-claim ng PWD. You are taking away and you are discrediting, or you are endangering the privilege of people who really need it. Marami pong PWD. Alam niyo po, nung ako'y lumipat dito sa Kapitolyo, may natirahan kaming bahay dito, which when we went there, we were beginning as a couple. Well, we weren't really beginning, but we were struggling as a couple when we moved to that house, and it was a strange house. It had 2 stairs. And I was wondering, why is there a stair to the kitchen and why is there a stair to the sala? And it turned out that the person who used to live in the house or owned the house, I think, had polio, had a advanced case of polio. And she would use the stair somewhat of a broken slide para makapunta doon sa kusina at doon sa sala niya. So instead na malayo ang lalakarin, dinoble na lang yung hagdanan. And it brings to reality or realization that the life of PWDs are not easy. And then ito pa, yung iba nga na-challenge pa eh. A friend of mine has only 1 lang. She appeared on our show and she looks all right. She looks well and she always takes care of her appearance. So pag tiningnan mo, may forma pa yung tao. Ang hindi natin alam, iisa na lang pala baga niya. And that makes her qualified to be a PWD. Ako po, I have a broken spine and I have 3 compressed nerves. Okay? I'm qualified to be a PWD and I'm 64, but I also have COPD. But I'd rather give the privilege to other people kasi limitado rin ang kakayanan ng ating ekonomiya. And if we all jump in and start making claims that we can do it out or we are not qualified for, we are actually stealing. We are stealing from others. And I just want to bring that out because alam niyo po, as you know, I quote the Bible often. I read the Bible. I talk about spiritual things. I'm not kidding. If you think that you nakakalamang ka o magaling ka dahil nagagamit mo yung peking privilege o yung peking PWD, pagbabayaran nyo po. Sabi nga ng mga matatanda, mag-ingat kayo. Be careful. Baka mahipan ka ng hangin, hindi ka lang maduling, baka mapilay ka pa forever. In any case, I don't want to go negative. I just want to emphasize that the PWD is a privilege given to the less privileged in life. Let's not steal it from them. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, hopefully, nandyan na si Secretary Bebot Bello. Okay, you're back here on agenda, and we hope we can now bring in the former DOJ Secretary during the Cory administration and now the Secretary of Labor under the Duterte administration. Hindi ko lang alam kung ang itatawag ko sa kanya, Secretary o Tito.
Oh,
Good morning, sir.
morning, Cito. Good morning po.
Ako'y naiilang makipag-interview sa iyo kasi parang ini-interview ko yung mga tiyuhin ko eh. Baka mapagalitan ako. Okay, sir. How have you been doing? Kasi alam ko naman na nung pinasok ninyo yung trabaho ng Secretary of Labor, we all assume an environment of normalcy, regularity. Para kang tinamaan ng 10 tsunami dyan sa DOLE.
Tama-tama ang comment nyo, Cito. Na, hindi lang ito tsunami. Parang ano to, undoy.
Okay. Kamusta naman po? Paano ba yung nangyayari sa inyo? How are you dealing with this? Because I'm sure you also have your family, you also have your own life, but many of the people I know in government are saying halos wala na silang oras sa pamilya nila at para sa sarili nila. Kamusta naman?
Okay naman. Sabi mo nga, talagang unexpected itong turn of events.
Mhm.
Under very abnormal times and abnormal condition. Pero sa tagal ko naman, Cito, sa gobyerno, parang sanay na ako sa ganitong problema eh. Although medyo ibang klase problema to.
Yeah. Now, sa sitwasyon ngayon, ano ho ba yung top concerns or priorities ninyo? Kasi nung nire-review ko yung pag-uusapan natin, honestly, I didn't know where to start and end our conversation because I said, this guy has got so many concerns. Every day something is erupting, and what are your top concerns or priorities in the DOLE? Nako, naghang po ang ating or may delay. I can. Okay, there we go.
Kasi may pumapasok na call eh.
Okay. Okay, that's the problem with work from home and depending on technology. I think, Gab, you better tell Secretary Bello to put on the do not disturb. Kayo pong mga nanonood, that's a technique when you do this conference call, Zoom, or what we're doing here. One rule is to put the phone on do not disturb while you're doing the conference or the interviews or meetings because that limits the interruption of your signal. In any case, we will try to reconnect with Secretary Bello again because that seems to be a problem. Now, what are our concerns with the Department of Labor? Because we, as some of you might have seen, meron na pong mga lumabas na balita that shocked and surprised many Filipinos here. Yung bang maraming namatay abroad because of COVID-19, particularly in Saudi Arabia and some other Middle Eastern countries. And I think the biggest problem or emotional concern is that many of those who died, or a number, not naman all, no, but a number of those who died in Saudi Arabia because of Saudi Arabian law or medical protocol, they have to be buried there. And from what I remember in past pronouncements, if you die of COVID there, you are buried there, and the only hope for your remains to be repatriated would be after 3 years na pwede nang pahukay yung labi mo at papadala sa Pilipinas. And that is really a very difficult challenge for DOLE kasi marami dun sa mga namatayan. I actually saw a report of CNN Philippines, and they were already broadcasting or sharing videos. Yung bang yung tatay mo nandoon sa Saudi Arabia at sinusulat na lang sa papel kasi hindi na makapagsalita na I love you, I want to be buried in the Philippines. Yung mga gano'n, nakikita mong luhaan pero hindi makapagsalita yung mahal mo sa buhay. At tapos, hindi mo pa mapatupad yung huling habilin ng magulang mo o ng tatay mo. So, that's an emotional issue right there. But then the other issue is unemployment in the Philippines. What is the real situation of unemployment in the Philippines? Because based on what we picked up from the Philippine Star, according to the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers Affairs, she said that there are 167,626 Filipinos stranded abroad. Most are located in the Middle East, 158,633 of them, followed by those in the Asia-Pacific region, 4,083. In Africa, there is an estimated 3,590 stranded. In Europe, 1,064. And the Americas, 256. Ito po yung mga rehistrado, ito yung mga na-report na stranded. Tapos, ang problema ng ating DFA, Department of Foreign Affairs, yung kanilang 1 billion peso budget for repatriation of distressed Filipinos, ay paubos na. It will soon be depleted. And their other problem, which we already discussed here on agenda, is this situation at the NAIA. It's not the fault of the NAIA officials. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to call it for what it is. There is a quota of only 600 passengers being allowed into the country every day. Yan po yung fixed quota ng NAIA. 600 versus 167,626 Filipinos that need to come back, medyo, I'm sorry, that's bizarre. The fact that no one has even acted on it. And based on what we picked up from our interviews, is that the 600 quota is simply because of the testing capacity of the DOH or the group that is monitoring the arrivals at the NAIA. Ano po, no, ang yayabang natin na sinasabi natin that we are now testing 10,000 a day, pinagmamalaki natin na may escalate natin yan to 12,000, that we are sending this and doing that, and that we are putting up so many laboratories. Pero dun sa NAIA, 600 pa rin ang pwedeng pumasok. Now, remember, of that 600, that's not limited just to OFWs. I mean, there are other people who are also waiting in the wings or waiting in different countries to get back to the Philippines. You have embassy officials, embassy employees. You have expats representing foreign companies and investments in the Philippines. You have students who are trying to get back to their families in the Philippines because they're running out of money, their mental health is suffering, and at the end of the day, we are still talking about 600 people being allowed. Okay, subukan po natin ulit si Secretary Bebot Bello. Secretary Bebot, good morning po.
Hello, good morning.
Okay. Let me go back to my first question, Secretary. And before I ask you that question, may I just congratulate you and your department, sir? Kasi nabalitaan ko through a friend, actually. A friend of mine told me that they were able to benefit from the small business wage subsidy. 81 of his employees ay nakatawid gutom dahil dun sa ginawa ng departamento ninyo. And you know, marami kami sa media, me included, we criticize pero we don't get to praise often. And I'm praising your department for that.
Thank you, Cito, na sayang nga at kinapus ang budget. We could have accommodated more and extended assistance to more people. Kaya lang, kinapus yung budget namin eh.
Mhm. May kailangan pa bang ituloy yung program na yon, Secretary? I mean, I have no idea up to how long we will continue with this situation. Pero kung kapusin man kayo ng budget at nakakatulong naman talaga, siguro dapat tulungan kayo ng Kongreso with the new budget.
Meron po kaming proposal. Hopefully, the Congress will act on it favorably. At saka meron kami isang program na to me is more important. And it is a way of preserving and protecting employment. Ito yung tinatawag namin na wage subsidy. Pero this time, instead of giving it to the employees, we will give it to the employer. In other words, we will give the employer about 25 to 50% assistance so that they will pay only 75% or 20 or 50% of the salary kasi binibigay namin kalahati o 25% on condition na hindi nila tatanggalin, wala silang tatanggaling empleyado at kung maaari pa nga ay dadagdagan nila yung kanilang mga empleyado.
Malaking bagay yan, Secretary Bello, kasi right now, dalawa ang concern ng mga trabahador or mga empleyado, yung they still have a job, and second, that they will kahit nakalahati o konti, may matanggap sila pang tuwid gutom.
Tama po yan, Cito. Tama. So ay meron din kaming advisory tungkol sa tinatawag nating flexible work arrangement. This is a consensus between the work employer na halimbawa, i-reduce nila yung working day from let's say a week, magiging 3 days a week. O kaya meron din yung arrangement na rotation. Ito, 50% of the workers will work on this month. Next month sila naman, gano'n. Para sa gano'n, ay permanente yung employment status nila. Kaya lang nababawasan yung kanilang income. Pero kagaya nga sinabi ninyo, at least may kinikita.
Okay. Now, ano pa po yung top priorities ninyo sa departamento? Kasi ang daming nagputukang problema. Sa totoo lang, hindi na kita mapupuna kasi sa talagang I would not wish what you are going through on my worst enemy.
Well, actually, ang pinakamalaking problema namin, actually hindi naman problema, pero we give it priority attention, ang welfare of our overseas workers. So, we call them the bagong bayani, modern day heroes. Pero kuminsan, nagiging lip service na lang yan eh. So, yun ang gusto namin tutukan ngayon, na marami sa ating mga overseas workers na tinamaan ng COVID. Marami na wala trabaho, marami ang kahit na may trabaho pero hindi makatrabaho dahil nakalock in. Marami din tinamaan ng COVID. In fact, we have on record about in Saudi lang ito, Cito, no? We have a record of I think 312 dead dead OFWs, out of which ay 187 ang may COVID related case. Kaya yun lang. And we are trying to look for an aircraft that will ferry them from Saudi back to our country. Pero meron pang issue na inaayos namin dahil may mga nagsasabi na dapat yung namatay ng COVID ay doon na ilibing.
Oho.
At na lang yung mga namatay under natural causes. Pero namin yung mga kamag-anak ng mga namatay sa COVID, ay nakikiusap naman sila na kung maaari ay uwi rin sila. So yun ang aming iti-take up kumaya with Interagency Task Force. We'll get the opinion of the Department of Health kung it is safe na iuwi yung cadaver ng kababayan natin na namatay because of COVID. If that is if the DOH says it's safe, then we will have to bring all of them, whether natural or COVID related yung cause of death nila.
Okay, pero Secretary Bello, may pera pa ba kayo? Kasi yung DFA nga sinasabi yung kanilang repatriation fund na 1 billion paubos na. Yung OWA sinasabi na yung kanilang assistance or subsidy to OFW ay baka hanggang December na lang bangkarote na sila. And paano ang gagawin natin? Binigyan na ba kayo ng go signal or pag-asa ng Kongreso na may sasaklolo?
Actually, ito ganito na yan, yung mga OWA, yung mga OFW, may pera sila. We are holding their money in trust for all of them. Before this pandemic thing, meron kami mga 20 billion pero dahil nga nag-uwian sila, na-quarantine sila, nilagay namin sila sa hotel, we have to shoulder yung expenses for food and medicine, medyo nabawasan. Ngayon, there is a suggestion na pera naman lang, gamitin nyo na. Yun, may ganun thinking.
Yeah.
Akin naman, okay naman yun. Pero sa akin naman pagtingin, itong mga kababayan natin ito, we call them bagong bayani, modern day heroes. Ngayon na kailangan nila tayo, bakit naman yung pera nila gamitin natin? Why can't government give them the assistance that they need? Ba't kailangan gamitin natin yung pera nila? O pera nila yan and they've been contributing to our economy for so many years at the minimum of $30 billion a year.
Yeah.
Ngayon lang nila kailangan ng tulong natin. Tulungan nga natin pero pera naman nilang gagamitin natin. So, ang suggestion ko, government should give them what is due to them. They rightfully deserve help from government, financial or otherwise. Hindi dapat gamitin yung pera nila. Para nandun, intact yan. Gamitin lang nila. Kung halimbawa, gusto nila na magnegosyo, kailangan nila punan, okay. Kung magkasakit sila, okay. Kung merong scholarship program for the children, okay, gamitin nila yon. Pero sa ganitong pagkakataon, Cito, na kailangan tayo, dapat gobyerno magbigay sa kanila, hindi yung pera nila.
Okay, that's a very important point, Secretary. Now, matanong ko, total na pag-uusapan natin yung pagbabalik ng mga OFW sa Pilipinas. Aside from testing them and kina-quarantine, gumagawa na ba tayo ng skills inventory nitong mga bumabalik ng mga OFW? And katabi niyan, meron na ba tayong galaw dyan sa DOLE to push for nationalization of jobs in the Philippines? Kasi nangyayari na rin naman yan sa Saudi at abroad. Kasi may mga nagsasabi, may mga trabaho dito binibigay sa mga tiga-mainland Chinese, binibigay sa mga ibang banyaga because the projects are funded by foreign governments. May mga nagpupush for nationalization in labor. Ano po ang masasabi niyo about that, Secretary?
Actually, ganito yan, Cito, If you recall, nagalit ang ating Pangulong Duterte nung nakita niya na there were 24,000 OFWs na nakatenga, stranded here in Metro Manila.
Yes.
Been in the hotels for 15 days, 30 days, 45 days. And meron mga tinamahan ng psychological depression, talagang naintindihan namin. And fortunately, upon orders of the President, in 1 week's time,
Hello?
Lahat yung
Yun.
24,000 na nakatenga. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Ayun,
Go ahead. Go
hindi
ahead.
naman kasi. Ayan, no. May kumapasok call eh. Anyway, I was
Oh. Dapat dyan, ilagay sa do not disturb, Secretary Bello, para hindi ka na ma-disturb yung mga tumatawag na. Okay, just to summarize what Secretary Bello has said up to now, his position is that the government must find the money, spend its own money for the repatriation, testing, quarantining, and whatever measures are needed in bringing home the OFWs. The DOLE or government should not put its fingers into the pie that is called the trust fund ng mga OFW. Okay, there we go. Secretary Bello, are you back?
yeah, I'm back, Chito.
Okay.
Anyway, as I was saying, from that experience, ay nagkaroon ng bagong protocol ang interagency task force. At ganito na, yung ating mga OFW, pag pauwi sila, they should give us 5-day notice na pauwi na sila, and then kunin natin yung profile nila, anong trabaho nila doon, anong skills nila, at saan ang kanilang final destination sa Pilipinas. Okay? Pagdating nila dito, agad-agad ma-PCR test sila. Agad-agad. Pagdating sa airport, swab sila agad. And then, to wait for the result of the swabbing, they will be accommodated in all the hotels available. After 3 days, pag nalaman na negative sila, papauwi na natin agad sila. We will immediately send them to their final destination. And hindi na rin problema because of that 5-day notice na notify natin ang interagency task force, and the interagency task force na notify nila yung kanilang mga final destination, yung probinsya o municipality. So alam nila na darating na yung kanilang mga constituents. So they will be prepared. Now, pagdating doon, either they quarantine them, nasa kanila yan, but ang importante ay tinanggap na nila sa kanilang probinsya o municipality yung ating mga kababayan. Hindi kagaya nangyari noon.
Okay. May tumawag na naman kay Secretary Bello. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Paano ba yan?
Okay. Medyo naiirita na nga si Secretary dahil dyan sa mga... that's another thing when you do a conferencing like this. We really suggest you have your own camera. Yung aking camera po, hindi kayo maniwala, 6,000 lang. I am using a 12-year-old computer. But my secret weapon is I have a technical director named Karen Vogelsang Beltran, who is doing all of this technology works on my behalf. Kanya kami ay nababawasan namin lahat itong mga sabit. But in any case, so far, 2 points that's important. Secretary Bello is firm that government should spend for the OFW, not use OFW money or trust fund to repatriate them. Second, there has now been an improvement in the processing and returning of OFWs to the Philippines. Kung makabalik si Secretary Bello, ay itatanong ko na rin sa kanya yung tungkol, ayun. Okay, Secretary, you're back?
Na wala na sigurong tatawag kasi i-airplane mode ko na.
Okay, good. In any case, Secretary, so maganda na-streamline na. Pero ito yung I want to bring to your attention if you're not aware of it yet. Medyo nagpuputok ang butsi ng marami kasi may quota pa rin tayo sa airport of 600 passengers only. And dahil daw sa limitado yung testing capacity, pinagmamalaki ni Secretary na na ang dami na nating natetest. Bakit dun sa airport 600 lang?
Actually, Cito, ganito yan, no? In-increase na from 600, I think in-allow nila 1,005 na. Pwede na yung 1,005. And
Okay.
nagano na rin ang DOTR na meron ng alternative airports. Hindi na lang dito sa Manila, pwede na rin sila sa Clark. And hopefully, magkaroon na rin sa Cagayan de Oro and Davao City.
Okay, that's good news. Now, ang tanong ko, Secretary, what is the future of overseas employment? Kasi sinasabi nung, kasi alam nyo, galing din ako sa tourism, ang aming assessment ay baka 2 taon bago makabalik ang turismo. Tapos itong mga OFW, 100,000 yung mga umuwi. I think ang forecast is 1 million ang babalik sa Pilipinas over the next year. Ano po ba ang future ng OFW? May aasahan pa ba tayo dyan?
I may sound too optimistic, Chito, pero I think meron pa. Malaki pang pag-asa natin dahil before this COVID thing came out, marami foreign trips for the signing of labor agreements with several countries. Nandiyan ang Slovakia, nandiyan ang Russia, nandiyan ang China, nandiyan ang Canada, and even Germany, England. They are now ready to sign labor agreement with us. So in other words, in demand pa rin yung ating mga overseas workers. In fact, just 2 days ago, may tumawag sa akin from the ministry, yung sa Libya. Kasi total ban tayo ng deployment ng mga nurses doon dahil nagtatrabaho nga sila doon, di naman binabayaran. So, sa akin na they will now pay yung mga nurses natin, provided we will send more nurses sa kanila. I said, pay first before we send. Sabi ko.
Tama lang.
Even in Germany, there is a demand. In England, there's a demand for medical workers. And even our household, kailangan pa rin nila dyan sa Macau, sa Hong Kong, sa Taiwan, and even mainland China. Kaya nga, inintay natin yung pagkakataon na magkaroon ng labor agreement with China, mainland China, para doon natin dadalhin yung ating mga workers, and especially our skilled workers.
Yung pagpapadala po, Secretary, ng mga Filipinos abroad, kasi mawalang galang na dun sa mga bansang mapapag-usapan natin. Pero there are preferred countries, Canada, Germany, yung mga Europe, kaysa naman sa Middle Eastern countries. Kasi parang nagtataka lang yung ibang Pilipino, bakit pa tayo nagpapadala dyan sa mga Middle Eastern countries na kung saan puro tayo problema, hindi na lang tayo mag-concentrate din sa mga Asia at saka sa Americas and Europe. May dahilan po ba kung bakit kinakalat natin ang deployment?
Actually, it only happens kasi Cito na ang demand for our workers ay nandyan. Pero ngayon, we are opening a lot of market. In fact, I was in late last year, pumunta ako ng New Zealand. Kasi kanila ng mga construction workers. That's why magkakaroon din noon ng In fact, there was already a labor agreement. Kaya ako nandun dahil nagpirmahan kami ng labor agreement regarding the entry of our construction workers. Meron din sila. Pero yung ito kasi mga agencies natin, ang pinakamadali sa kanila yung itong sa Middle East, pero not anymore kasi medyo nagiging stricto na rin yung Middle East. So we have to open more market in Europe. Mas maganda sa Europe. Mas maganda ang condition nila doon. Especially yung Eastern Europe. Nagbubukas tayo sa Czechoslovakia.
Okay, last question ko na lang, Secretary, kasi alam ko marami kayong ginagawa at marami kayong sakit ng ulo nga. Ano po ang magiging future ng Department of OFW? Kasi parang nakikita ko, if there's a Department of OFW, there would be better focus of management and resources. At the same time, hindi nababalda yung Department of Labor kasi pwedeng mag-focus naman on the national and local issues.
Mukha naman Chito may prospect doon dahil pinupos ng gusto ni Senator Wong. Supporting establishment of a separate department for OFWs, and so with the Department of Foreign Affairs. So, dalawa kaming departamento nag-support. So, with the effort of Bongo, baka sakaling ma-achieve na natin yung bagong Department of OFW.
Okay, well, I really appreciate our time this morning with you, Secretary Bello, and on air, I am praying that the Lord would bless you with good health, with wisdom, and may He bless all of the people under your office, even our labor attaches, para po lahat tayo ay makapagsilbi ng maayos sa ating mga kababayan here and abroad. Thank you very much for your time, Secretary.
I would like to tell you na, I suppose you know that your dad, Louis, was a good friend of mine.
Eh, ninervyos nga ako nung babanggitin mo yung pangalang Louie, baka biglang madinig ko yung tatay ko eh. Okay.
Dan pagsama namin ng daddy mo noon. So thank you so much, Cito, and hope to be one of your guests again.
Okay. Anytime, Secretary. Thank you very much. That's Secretary Silvestre Bello. Siya po ay naging kalihim ng hustisya at ngayon po siya po ang namumroblema at sumasakit ang ulo dyan sa Department of Labor. And I confess that we in media from time to time, we always see the negative first, or because yun naman po ang malapit sa puso ng mga naapektuhang mamamayan. You know, we kind of go after the problem first, but I'm glad that today we were at least able to give credit to the DOLE because that was from that report about nakatawid gutom, yung private sector wage subsidy program ng DOLE was told to me by my friend from Victory Christian Fellowship. And sinabi niya, Kuyang, ang laking tulong nung wage subsidy program na yon kasi 81 of my employees were able to receive that assistance at siya raw po medyo unat na yung kanyang wallet. In any case, meron lang po akong babasahin. Good morning, Cito. Ang ganda ng programa mo ngayong umaga. Ayan na naman ang mga nangaabuso ginagamit ang PWD card. Hindi sa dami ng batas na nagbabago ang masamang ugali, ulit-ulitin na lang sana sa media na gumawa ng tama at iwasan ang masamang gawain. Maging gabay ng bawat Pilipino sa lahat ng bagay, pagpalain ka nawa ng Diyos. Thank you very much po, Mr. Alarcon. And I'm going to check whether we are just going to go into our next guest or if we are going to go for a gap. Oh, okay. Our next guest is ready. Attorney Vince Revil. Ito naman po, ni-request ko rin dahil yon. Okay, Attorney Vince Revil, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Cito, and to all the viewers and listeners of this program. We are here to discuss a very important topic on our advocacy for the constitutional reform.
Okay, you're pushing for constitutional reform. Your former governor of Masbate. Yan, matanong ko lang, Attorney Vince, yung bang pinupush mo, constitutional reform or federalism?
Last October 2019, the DILG, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, through the Center for Federalism and Constitutional Reform, there was a rebranding that happened from federalism to constitutional reform. Why? What is the main difference between the two? If we're going to talk about federalism, this is the entire revision of the Constitution. Whereas with the core constitutional reform, this is only the changes on some of the provisions, on some amendments only to the Constitution.
Pero towards sorry, Attorney Vince, towards what direction are you pushing for the reform? Kasi kanya kita pinaimbitahan, yung core, kasi napag-isipan ko lang, no? And I think it has occurred to some people who are pro-federalism, baka it would have been better if we were under a federal form when COVID-19 happened. In your assessment, if we were a federal state or assembly of ano ba yun, 7 or 8 federal states, would our ability to deal with COVID been better?
You're right, Cito. Actually, part of our constitutional reform is the amendment to the some of the provisions of the Constitution. Especially, we have one of the pillars, and which that pillar states that paluwagin ang Metro Manila, pagyamanin ang mga probinsya. So what we are going to do here is to change some of the provisions of the local government provisions in the Constitution, such as strengthening the Regional Development Council, and at the same time to empower the local government units through more internal revenue allotment by constitutionalizing the Supreme Court decision on the Manalas and Garcia versus Ochoa. So what we are going to do here, we are going to empower the local governments, because it is very important that pareho ngayon during this pandemic, we have already seen that where the concentration of the economy, it is usually just here in Metro Manila and on the Calabarzon area and in Region 3. Wherein the rest of the regions, the rest of the provinces, they don't have much piece or slice of our pie or the economy. Therefore, we are proposing for a more equitable distribution of wealth, resources, and development.
Attorney Vince, Attorney Vince, sorry to cut you there, no? Kasi isang bagay na hindi napapag-usapan, and maybe I think a lot of people don't realize this, assuming that COVID-19 dies down by December, we hope, many of the local governments, many of the local governments will practically be bankrupt because of all the support and expenditures that they have put out. Kasi ang dami kong alam na mayor na hindi nagkasya yung SAP. Bumunot pa sila sa sariling pondo nung city, nung munisipyo, or even barangay captains. So the probability of many local government units being bankrupt by the end of the year is likely. So we're not just talking about the distribution of funds here as you're proposing. I'm talking about what happens by end of 2020.
We are looking at a long-term solution to these things.
Mm-hmm.
We are going, what these provisions that we are espousing, what we are advocating is to ensure that there is the right resource for the local government units. As of now, the way I see it, we are still in a good financial health until the end of the year. But then by continuing with our advocacy, we are now going to make the local governments, the cities, the municipalities, the provinces, the barangays, to be the sources of our economic development. What we will, because we have a unique situation in our country. We are an archipelago. So we don't have to over-centralize our government here only in the National Capital Region or in Metro Manila. This should be fairly dispersed in the entire islands of the country, in the entire 81 provinces of this country, in the entire 17 regions of this country. So hence, that is our proposal for the constitutional reform.
Why do you need constitutional reform? Kasi right now, Bongo is already pushing for balik probinsya. Our other guest, Congressman Ronnie Ong, is pushing for balik probinsya, and a host of other people are talking about balik probinsya. Di ba mas mabilis at mas madali kung we all just get behind this balik probinsya idea and just make it a really good working system instead of kasi yung pag ginalaw mo yung pag nag-propose ka naggalawin ng constitution, walang nangyayari, ang daming praning eh.
but we have to institutionalize these reforms that we are doing. That's why we need to constitutionalize this. What you're saying, if you're just going to put it in a law, like the local government code of 1991, it had been there since 1991. That had been the operative law on our local government units. But no changes had been done. And there's, again, the problem on the decision of the Mandanas and Garcia versus Ochoa, that the decision on the internal revenue allotment was only finally decided by the Supreme Court just 2 years ago. So as you can see, we have not been very responsive to what is needed by the present situation, by our present needs of our government. So our constitution had been there for the past 33 years, since 1987. And we now already see that there is indeed a need to amend some of the provisions of the Constitution. But let me clarify this. There are still some good provisions in the Constitution. Of course, our basic tenets in our principles in our democracy. But then it's just like a car, that there are some spare parts that needs to be changed, and that we need to really make the necessary amendments to the same to make it more reflective. So as you can see, in addition to what we are going to do here to strengthen our local government units, we are going to also have some of the political reforms that we're espousing, like the anti-dynasty, anti-balimbing, and the strengthening of the political parties. And also on the economic side, we want to attract more foreign direct investments and employment for our people. Para kanina, I just heard your interview with the good Secretary Bello about we have so many OFWs have been displaced. So again, we need to change our constitution to make it more open to attract investments in our country. As you can see in the entire ASEAN, we are the kulela tayo. We are the least foreign direct investment welcoming nation, the Philippines. So
but Vince,
opportunity and employment.
yeah, but Attorney Vince, let me just point this out. Kasi pasensya ka na, no? I'm not trying to debate you or anything. I'm just also trying to educate our viewers. Kasi for the longest time, that argument that tayo yung kulelat sa ASEAN has been put in front of the cart, as they say, no? But I think many people don't realize we are at a disadvantage. Kasi unlike our neighbors in ASEAN, tayo ay talagang bukod tanging nakahiwalay sa mainland at talagang sabog-sabog pa yung ating bayan, not to mention our historical past. So, I think that our problem is as much geographical than it is constitutional, because just to get spare parts from Thailand to assemble cars, a whole car in the Philippines, so that we can claim to have a car manufacturing plant here, requires an additional, I think, $1,000 per unit. So parang geographical, ano? So in any case, I mean, going back to your point, people would say that, yeah, Vince Revil is very idealistic. He loves the Philippines. He wants the good for the Philippines, but his timing is very bad because, as you know, in a matter of 2 years, we're going to have elections, and any meddling with the Constitution, direct or indirect, is always associated with the current administration wanting to extend its power. This is historical in the Philippines. Every time there is a proposal to fix the Constitution, it is blocked because people will say, hindi, magmamarcos yan. I-extend na naman nila yung... What say you regarding that?
We have a very unique situation now because when this president, our president Rodrigo Duterte, ran for office last 2016, it is part of his advocacy, of his campaign promise, that there must be changes in our constitution. Again, as what I've said earlier, to have an equitable distribution of wealth in the entire country. And for progress to happen not only here in the central, but in the entire, even the farthest located provinces, barangays, municipalities, and city. So it won him the presidency. So as you can see, it is a very good platform of campaign and platform of change for our country. Because as we all know, our constitution is the blueprint of our democracy. So if we make some changes on that, we are ensuring that we are attuned with the aspirations of the present generation. As you can see, nang ginawa yung ating 1987 Constitution, wala pa tayong masyadong cellphones noon. Yung mga mobile phones natin noon, puro yung malalaki ng mga phones pa. Ngayon, it's already the digital age. So we already have to adapt to the to the present situation. That is the need. That is the urgency for the constitutional reform.
Okay.
That there must be this generation must the aspirations of these generations must be stated in our constitution.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we were not able to answer the question, would we have done better under a federal form of government in dealing with COVID-19? I guess that we're going to have to leave that for another discussion, unless you have a quick answer.
I have a quick answer. As what I've said earlier, that we're going to strengthen the Regional Development Council and the ERA for the local government units, for an increased ERA for the local government units. We are now going to ensure that the development will not just happen here in the center, but it will be fairly dispersed in the entire regions and entire provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangay. So when we do this, this is our step towards full federalism. We are preparing the framework towards genuine federalism for our country, because our people is not yet used to that kind of governance. So we are laying the foundation. We're laying the first steps towards
Kumbaga,
genuine federalism.
kumbaga slow dagapang.
Yes.
Okay.
Because when a change happens so abruptly, the people will resist it. But if we explain to them the benefits of what we are doing, eventually this leads toward genuine federalism.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Attorney Vince Revil. I don't know how you're going to do it. I hope somehow parts and parcel of your proposal will be picked up by our lawmakers, and we can make use of the best parts of that idea, because I don't think we're going to get a total package, so to speak. Thank you very much for your time today, Attorney, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Attorney Vince Revil, convener of the CORE movement, constitutional reform movement. And well, unfortunately, I did want to talk more about how would things have been under a federal system as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Because if we follow the original concept of the federal form of government, there would have been, I think, 7 or 8 federal states from Luzon to Mindanao, and each state would be taking care of itself, because I don't know, maybe it was in God's perfect time and wisdom that we are not a federalized government, because imagine what's happening in Cebu right now. I just hope that Secretary Roy Simatu, Secretary Anyo are blessed by the Lord with favor and provision and protection. Kasi po, aray ko, ang sakit ng ulo nila dyan sa Cebu City, because talagang kumalat yung COVID-19. And it's something that it hasn't been talked about much in the news. But the fact is, some of my sources who went with IATF team to Cebu were shocked. They were literally shocked, because they said, Cito, parang walang COVID-19 eh. Naglalalakad ng tao, walang mask, sama-sama, walang social distancing, parang walang pake sa mundo. And now they are paying the price. This has been repeated globally in countries that have tried to go back to normal, and end of the day forgot about wearing a face mask, observing social distancing, hand sanitation, and basically just staying safe. And yan po ang nangyari, nagkaroon ng resurgence. In fact, the world-known Dr. Fauci ng United States ay nagsasabing problema. Magkakaalaman tayo within the next week kung nagkaroon sila ng second wave or meron silang second crisis sa Amerika. In any case, we've reached the end of our show. I thank all our viewers, particular do sa mga nagtatanong ng jukebox, sa mga nagdadasal para sa atin. Thank you for watching the program, and we pray that you will continue to share agenda with others and share your thoughts with us. And thank you for your encouragement. Please, today, go out of your way to call someone, minister to someone. There is a word that I learned and I will talk about it in the days to come, maasikaso. Atin pong asikasuhin yung mga mahal natin sa buhay. And I will tell you a beautiful story about maasikaso. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. We'll see as our day progresses and our lineups are complete. Thank you very much for joining us. God bless all of you. Please pray for us. Pray for your loved ones. Take care. Stay safe. God bless you.